Mr. Matlala, did you socialize with Mr. Mutsumi? Did you go out to lunch together? Did you have dinners? Did he visit your house? Did you visit his house?
No, he never visited my house.
Did you go to lunches together?
No, we never went to lunch, but at some point I remember he was having lunch somewhere, and then I wanted to meet him, and he was having lunch, and I got the incentive, some incentive, yes.
Did you bike together or ride together or drive sports cars together?
He don't ride bikes, Mr. Mutsumi. I don't think.
What did you do together? We're trying to get to what was the nature of the relationship. What did you do together?
You know, I'm opening this relationship because last time I confined myself, I said business only, and then find out something else. Like, doing together is not much. Like, maybe if there is something that has to do with business, I will meet with him. So that's why I was referencing it as a business relationship.
So you met with him from time to time to discuss business?
Yes.
In fact, I was going to add to Commissioner Kumalo's list to see if he went horse riding, and I guess none of those. This is a relationship starting in 2022. Can you give us a sense of the nature of business ventures you considered? What types of business did you consider? Both of you?
Not considered. I said the first business that I've proposed to him is this one of Medicare.
Yes.
Yes.
So you say the first, that would suggest there is a second.
No, there's no second.
Okay, so what other business interests did you discuss? Or do you discuss? Not let me say date, because I shouldn't assume the relationship has ended. So what other business interests do you discuss as business?
I will give you an example, not business between myself and him, but if there is someone who's looking maybe for VIP protection, he will refer them to me. So I will say it's business, but it was not between myself and him.
Okay.
Yes.
So he would then seek to assist you to develop your own business, like the VIP protection business.
Not assist, because I didn't want to have clients, but I was very selective who do I render services to. But because of him, and he will know that maybe I will say, if his friend maybe needs a VIP protection, then he will refer them to me.
And you didn't discuss any business to benefit him in turn?
Business to benefit him?
To benefit him, because what you are referencing now would be engagements that would benefit your business by giving you referrals. Any business to benefit him?
Yes, there was a proposal of investment of, I think it was 20 million, which he was going to benefit in terms of profits. But this is the business that I said, it never materialized.
What was the business about? What did it involve?
The subcontract.
The subcontract, are we talking about Medicare?
Yes.
And what do you mean about, I thought it was 5 million, you referenced 20 now.
Advocacy law, I said 5 million was not for the subcontract.
You said, yeah, for Medicare?
Yes.
Okay. So you say the 20
then the
million?
20 million was, yes. I needed extra money for Medicare subcontract.
Okay. Specifically now for that subcontract?
Yes.
Sorry, maybe I was confused. You say the 5 million was to acquire the Medicare 24 or to start it? No, Commissioner. I said the first 5 million, I think this morning I said it, the first 5 million was when the first time I had a lease agreement with Public Works for the hospital that was in Pretoria West College. Yes. So I wanted to renovate that hospital. That 5 million was for that. I got you.
Yes.
So it had nothing to do with the tender?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, I think I have a sense, perhaps then, of your relationship. Just to a question Commissioner Kumalo asked you, remember the examples he gave you, whether you went speed boating together, riding sport cars. He asked whether you visited each other, and you said he had never visited you. You recall that?
Yes,
Have you had occasion to visit him?
yes.
And
Courtney and Mac love playing tug of war with his favorite sock. Mac wins, then swallows.
it was
Yes, yeah,
business?
yes.
I take it to discuss your VIP protection referrals, and so far what we have is the 20 million investment in the subs contract.
It's the 20 million investment, not even the VIP protection. It was,
Okay.
yes, oh.
I would like then to, the file that you still have open, it's file 1. Remember, the same file we're looking at when we were dealing with Mr. Msibi's, with chats with Mr. Msibi. I'm still in the same file. This time, I would like to refer us to page 56 of that file. That's under tab CJC 307. So we know that you were awarded the subs contract in April 2024, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you have clarified that the 5 million was not to service that contract.
Yes.
What funds did Medicare have at the time to service the contract before you started invoicing subs?
I think I choose not to answer that question because it's an ongoing investigation. That one is a case that is before court.
Okay. So you did have funds?
No, I don't want to comment on that advocacy law.
Okay. Well, I invited us to page 56. Ignore the number below. It's a reproduction from another file. Now, if I refer us to, let's stay at 56. The chats here are from, that we've put up from the 11th of December, 2024. If regard is head to the first chat there at page 56, that's what I'm engaging you on. You confirm that?
Yes, I confirm.
Now, commissioners, just to check about the filing, you should have file 1.1. Mine is marked 1.1.
And what's it written besides the 1.1?
I think the shocker is you are only about to be in possession thereof, Chair.
Ms. Van den Heever, do you have yours?
Sorry, Chairperson, when it should be on, it's not on, and it should be off, it's on. So we've got file 1.1, I'm sure we're at the same place. Thank you very much.
And in fact, Ms. Boy is commenting here that we appear in this particular hearing to have an obsession with one. So everything is file 1 or file 1.1 or 1A or 1B, and Chair, we apologize for that. But perhaps at on the index, of file 1.1, please make a note that there are documents numbered annexure SM1 to SM27. If you could just make a note for yourselves, these are the annexures downloaded from the chat we are about to go through. If you have regard to page 56, the chair and commissioners will note at the bottom is a document that is already marked SM1. So SM1 and succeeding annexures are to be found in file 1.1.
Electronic copy of this. We don't have an electronic copy of this. I'd like to have an electronic copy of this as well, a reference and to make it easier for us.
Absolutely, and together with
Sorry, it was again off when it was supposed to be on.
the previous chat, and they are printed now because the version that is flighted from which they've been reproduced doesn't, it's not clickable, so we then had to print them. But yes, this set of chats as well will be provided to Ms. van der Heever in the form that she states, which would enable her to click on the document in the chat and immediately open it. But for the moment, we will work off the hard copies.
Thank you.
Mr. Matlala, you understood what I was saying about the relationship between the chats we are looking at from page 56 and this other big file that I think you just got.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now, by way of example, if you go to file 5, I'll start again, to file 1.1, annexure SM1 appearing, it's numbered 825 of file 1.1.
Not 827.
827, Chair, I do apologize. Oh, there's a number 5 here on the page before me. That is a notification of payment, and that relates to, that's the SM1 referenced at the bottom of page 56. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So, this is a notification payment, and it has as a reference at the bottom loan repayment. It is from Mr. Vusimusi Matlala -Med. The payment was actioned on the 10th of December 2024, and it appears to be for R1 million, and it's made in favor of Bazwimi Factors. Now, is that a payment you made to Mr. Mutsumi?
Yes, no.
It says loan repayment. Is this in satisfaction of the R5 million loan?
Yes.
Okay. I want us to, we are now in December 2024. Are there any business ventures you are considering at this point with Mr. Mutsumi?
At this point?
Yes, in December 2024.
No.
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 So you're not discussing any further business ventures?
Except the 20 million loan, right? We're not talking about the 20 million loan.
No, that would come later in the chats. It is reflected there, but it's later in the chats. I'm interested in the time period. This is December 2024. According to these chats, I was just inquiring whether are there any business ventures you were then discussing with Ms. Mutsumi in December 24?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So then if we go to page 58, Let me just check something, Chair. Reductions. At page 58, the first block, the first communication, this would appear to be from Mr. Mutsumi. It's dated the 12th of December 2024. And this appears to be an access code to a property. The estate has been redacted. I trust that you have it in your copy.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is that Mr. Mutsumi's residence?
Yes, it is.
So this is a visit you were paying to Mr. Mutsumi?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And then this is followed by a number of telephone conversations between yourself and Mr. Mutsumi. And at page 60, the third block there in green, which would denote it's from you. You say, good day, sir. Just wanted to let you know that I'm back, and whenever you are available, I would like to see you. This is the 31st of December, 2024. And if you go further down, once the third green block on that page, you say, can I please have, no, can I stop there? The 31st of December, 2024. So you wanted to see him then, I take it just for a casual visit? Or by this point, had you been discussing some business ventures?
It should be the 20 million loan.
Sorry?
I'm saying it should be the 20 million loan.
It should be?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said it showed. So you want to see him here because now by the 31st of December, you are pursuing a 20 million rand loan. Correct?
Yes.
Did he offer it or did you ask for it?
Just keep on trying. Just remember that I'm here to cheer you on. Yeah.
At the third block, once again, it's the 5th of January, 2025, you say, can I please have access code, to which he responds, it doesn't work at the gate 4. So that's another visit you are planning here. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, I see.
And I take it you are going to say that you are going to discuss the 20 million loan.
I'm not saying that
okay.
advocacy law. I
Then
wouldn't remember every time when I went to him because I didn't go to Mr. Mutsumi once or twice. But what I know is that we were discussing about the loan. So, but that day when it was about the loan, I'm not quite sure.
Also, it could potentially have been about the loan or something else.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. And would it be safe to guess that, of course, you won't recall what that something else could potentially have been?
I cannot recall because
Yeah.
it does not even show here.
Yes. Now, if we go to page 61, at the bottom, there's an annexure SM2 that appears at your page 828. That's 1.5 million rand payment, once again to Bazwimi Factors from Black AK Trading and SAP. That is the other entity of your entities, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
As a matter of interest, before we look at the repayments, how did Mr. Mutsumi make the payment of 5 million to you? Was it in one transaction like an EFT as you are doing your payments, or was it in installments?
I think he paid maybe 4 million first and 1 million after, but it was 2 payments if I remember well.
And those would have gone into your account or into the account of Black AK Trading or Medicare?
To Medicare, that I
Medicare.
remember, yes.
Okay. And then if we go further, still staying with the big file, at 829 is another payment by Medicare, once again to Bazwimi Factors, and this time for 1.5 million. So by now there are 2 1.5 million payments and $1 million were at 4 million.
Yes.
And this is between the 10th of December and the 4th of February, 2025. You have repaid 4 million of the original 5 million rand loan.
Yes.
If we turn to page 62, once again, it appears to be an access code on the 16th of January, 2025, provided by Mr. Mutsumi to you. So that's another visit to Mr. Mutsumi.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, and if we go over leaflet 63, on the 24th of January, this time, is the same access code.
Yes,
And once again is to visit him.
yes.
And you suggest that you are discussing the 20 million rand loan.
Yes, it should be, yes.
What about the loan, interestingly, are you discussing over, there's about now 5 visits.
But advocacy, if it was only 1 visit, you will ask that, hey, this guy, you don't even persuade him, he just give you 5 million like that. Now, he wanted a lot of documents from me, so sometimes he want to know why you struggling with your company, brings more documents and stuff like that. So it was not an easy thing for him to just give me 20 million like that. Because the other time he gave me 5 million, he said, oh, just like that.
I can assure you I would never pose that question because I know for a fact he's given you 5 million without a single piece of paper, just a handshake, because he infinitely trusted you. I've accepted that. That's your relationship. So I would never have asked you how he could consider giving you 20 million. If it was somebody else, yes, I potentially might have asked, but you're in the clear.
Oh, okay.
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 We then have at page, you then start sharing with him from page 64. And by this time, there is a letter of demand that had been issued to you by SAPS, and you are responding to that letter of demand at SM4. Do you see that? Am I right?
Advocate Sela, can we please, I'm asking not to engage with these things because this is about the contract now. And I see it's even on the screen.
I haven't posed the question about the contract.
The issue is being displayed on the monitors, and that issue is currently one of the things on which he's claiming the right to self-incrimination or anything else, but you displayed it and he asked you to take it down.
I see what.
Thank you.
I see what you mean. It has been taken off screen, but just to place on record that this document was displayed and dealt with extensively during the course of Brigadier Majeng's testimony.
May I ask to understand what exactly is the issue about the contract being displayed? There's no question thus far that would tend to implicate Mr. Matlala. I'm not saying you don't have a basis for saying it should be taken off screen, but I want to understand.
Chairperson, the issue was that it was displayed there, and that was what I was trying to convey.
Oh, it's a letter of demand,
was-
not the contract.
Yeah, no, but what he was trying to relate to my learned friend was he said, please take it down. It's part of the contract. And my understanding from him is it's one of the issues that I've been dealing with that I said I don't want to answer. So my engagement with my learned friend was that I think she understood it like that is just take it down because it's not something else at this point in time.
Yes.
That was
No. If Ms. Silo has agreed that it should be taken down, I have no problem. But still, I just wanted to understand what the issue is exactly.
Yes, Chair, I think where Ms. Van de Heever is correct, as I understood what she meant. What Mr. Matlala was taking issue with is that it was being flighted. And her interjection was to point out that his request is that it not be flighted. But we are not at a stage of whether or not we deal with it. And it was in response thereto that I said, I'm advised that the same document has been dealt with publicly and has been flighted during the testimony of Brigadier Majeng. So that horse has bolted.
Yes, but I think by then Brigadier Majeng was not yet an accused.
Yes, but it's already out in the public arena. There is nothing to protect anymore.
So
would you accept that?
Myself, I won't accept that because I don't want to be the one who's entertaining that.
No, you have to accept a certain fact. If it was flighted and it's out there, it's out there. It doesn't be out there or not be out there because you, Mr. Matlala, accepts it. Do you understand?
I hear you, Advocate Sulo, but I've got an issue with it because I'm the one who's need to account for this thing in court. So I'm kindly asking that it must not be flighted, please.
Then perhaps if you say you have an issue with it, please indicate to the commissioners what your issue with it is.
No, I do not want to engage in anything that is to do with the subcontract in public before I deal with it in court.
But you recall that the chair pointed out that that any right you assert must be in relation to a response to a specific question. You have fallen back into that mode where you are suggesting to the commissioners that a discussion around Medicare 24 is completely off the table. Is that what you're proposing?
Medicare 24 contract,
yes.
not Medicare 24. I've been engaging with you with Mr. Mutumi.
No.
Solo. I'm talking about the contract.
I accept your correction. The contract.
Yes.
Are you suggesting to the commissioners that the contract is off bounds?
No, the contract, I cannot engage in the contract. I cannot engage in that.
So are you invoking, you say you are invoking your right, against self-incrimination each time a reference is made to the contract?
I'm engaging my right in terms of my free trial rights. I do not want to infringe my free trial rights by engaging in my case before I can do that in court.
Your Section 35 rights. So is it your position that any engagement on that contract of any kind before this commission will infringe your rights?
It will, of course.
Why? And how?
Advocate Sulam, myself and you now, as we sit here, we do not know what this up the sleeves of the prosecutor. We do not know what questions they want to ask or what is their approach. Even myself, you do not know what is my defense strategy. So it's a number of things that can go wrong if we engage in this issue now.
I think I'm having this engagement with you because I'm trying to understand the basis on which you say the commission cannot engage with that contract at all. You recall yesterday I requested that perhaps to assist the commission to appreciate the parameters of this right that you assert, that you provide us with the charge sheets in both trials. You recall that?
Yes, I do.
That was a request, and unfortunately, by this morning, you hadn't, by you, I mean collectively with your team, appreciating that.
We got it in the meeting.
Let me just finish, if I may. We have then, in the interim, sought to assist you and have obtained both the charge sheets, and they are part of file 11, item 3, and item 7 of file 11. Now, we did that precisely to have to understand what charges you face and to inform us and the commission, generally the commissioners, how far to potentially have a conversation with you about this contract. You understand?
I hear you.
Now, the Medicare charge sheet as at item 7 appears from page 90.
Sorry again, just for our benefit, which file are we currently?
11. File 11. It's the file that has the SIU order. File 11, page 90, that should be CJC 448, Commissioners. You confirm that is the charge sheet that was served on you and on the basis of which you are facing the current criminal trial in the Medicare matter?
Yes, I confirm that.
Yes. Now, we had requested that we have this before us so that we look at the various charges preferred against you and or your companies to have an appreciation when you refuse to answer a question as to specifically which offense do you say that question impacts? You remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. Now, looking then at our page 830, which is that response to the letter of demand for non-performance, what charge in this charge sheet do you suggest that letter impacts and therefore runs the risk of prejudicing you?
Advocate, I will repeat it again that I am not a lawyer, so I do not know the tactics of lawyers. How do they approach their cases? So I just want to be on a safe side by not approaching anything that has to do with this thing.
Because the approach you want to adopt is precisely the approach that I think the chair cautioned against, which is you can't be suggesting a blanket ban on conversation around the subs contract. And that any asset and any right you seek to assert must be in response to a specific question. And I'm suggesting to you to assist you to determine when it is to invoke your rights. Perhaps reference to the charge sheet would assist you, because the charge sheet specifies the different offenses for which you are charged.
Chairperson, may I at this stage just try and briefly deal with one of the issues that I find difficulties with right at this point. Mr. Matlala has indicated to your honourable self and your fellow commissioners that he's invoking his fair trial right. He's also indicated to you that he's not a lawyer and he doesn't know, simply put, about how lawyers deal with these various issues. I understand the approach you've discussed yesterday with reference to paragraph 109 and what's further. And I go back to maybe a little bit to what I've referred to earlier today. When one deals with somebody's section 35 rights, it goes much further than purely the right to self-incrimination, which is the right that you're being...
Magnini! The cutest magnetic plush. Unbox it. Snap it. Style it. Collect them all. Fashion moment? Nailed it. Desk looking dull? Not anymore. Fridge? Covered. Backpack low up in seconds. Magnini from Character.
By counsel and attorneys during the course of a trial. So what I'm saying to you, and again with respect, not in the sense that you think I'm doing it, I'm saying this really with respect, is that to say that you have to revert to the judgment wherein Mr. Chief Justice Yafta gave the judge. If you look, for instance, I think it's paragraph 111, he clearly states that what he says in 109, he deals with specifically in relation to the fact that Mr. Zuma was subpoenaed at that point. At no stage, and please, if you can, if I do understand this judgment correctly, I would bow to your superior interpretation of this. But this judgment at no stage dealt with your other constitutional rights. At the time, as I said to you, when section 3(4) was enacted in the Commissions Act, there was no such thing as a constitution. We didn't have a constitution that's been time and time ruled by the Constitutional Court to be the superior law of the country. Those fair trial rights that an accused person or a suspect down the line can assert in a court of law has been crystallized almost on a case-to-case basis and very often goes beyond what is contained in section 35. I cannot foresee any situation where reliance, where section 3(4) of the Commissions Act would simply swipe away or brush aside you as an accused person ascertaining before a commission of inquiry your other rights under section 35. More so because that's not a right. Your section 35 rights is not suspended or cease to exist the moment you, for instance, appear before the commission. Those are rights that you can invoke consistently. Because what we've got now, and I've not come across a case, and as I said, Zuma's case is a totally different kettle of fish, where a person that sits in Mr. Matlala's position had to invoke these rights. It's been dealt with in other forums. But right now, and it goes back to maybe where we started this morning, it's not, it doesn't fall within, I would respectfully submit, his realm of knowledge as a legal practitioner to understand exactly what rights can be invoked at which specific time. That's why I go and I say the rights that you are entitled to as an accused person and a suspect are far wider than the single right that you are afforded under 3(4) of the Commissions Act. And to ask him to now go with specific reference to that and to that issue that's referenced in a single paragraph that's maybe explained, is, I respectfully submit, unfair for the reasons that I've submitted to you right now, because it's not, let me stop there at this point.
Yesterday, when there was particular focus on paragraph 109, what was claimed was the privilege against self-incrimination. You are making a different point, which refers to section 35 of the Constitution. But what I would say to you, I'm yet to give Ms. Silo an opportunity to respond. But what I would raise with you is this. Even the section 35 rights, one cannot raise them in the air, so to speak. I've had a cursory look at this letter. I cannot claim to have to follow everything contained in it. It is quite a lengthy letter, and it's not that succinct and a bit difficult to follow. But the point I want to make is I do not understand how, and you would have to explain to me how the section 35 right, the fair trial right, is implicated. I just do not see how.
Sorry, Chairperson, I missed your last sentence.
I'm saying how that right would be implicated. Of course, not in these proceedings, but you mean in the criminal proceedings implicated by what happens here. So what I'm saying is I do not see how it will be or would be implicated by what happens here, reference being made to this letter. You would have to address us specifically and not just argue a legal point in the air, so to speak. So you would have to make specific reference to this letter. This letter says this and that and that and that, and for that reason, Mr. Matlala's fair trial right will be implicated. That's where your submissions are seriously lacking.
Indeed, if, as I said, if that is what you expect of me, I would, I don't know what the time is now, I will address you on that issue first thing in the morning. I think we've got enough to continue with specific reference to each and every of the points that was inter alia made by Mr. Matlala in the supplementary affidavit, and expand on that with hopefully the bit of legal knowledge I have.
No, I will not let you off on this, Ms. van den Heever. You have interjected and made legal submissions when questions were being asked around this letter. You could only have been able to do that if you are in a position to answer my question now. Otherwise, you are, as I said earlier, you are raising your legal point hypothetically or in the air, as I say. And you could only do that if you are in a position to address us on the contents of this letter. If you are not, you had no basis whatsoever to raise the legal point. So I would want you to address us now, not tomorrow. I would want you to address us now on this issue. If you say you are only ready tomorrow, why then did you raise the legal point? Because it ought not, from where you are sitting now, it ought not to have arisen at all. Or may I say this? Or what you should rather have said, maybe let me not get there. Let me just end it saying, I will not let you off that easily.
No, Jefferson, I
yes.
can address you on the specific points that I believe is relevant and that was raised by him in his affidavit, the supplementary affidavit, and I can raise this specifically to the manner in which those issues are raised as you've invited me to in a criminal trial vis-a-vis the proceedings in this particular case.
I'm saying now, and you say only tomorrow. I'm saying, tell us how those fair trial rights are implicated in respect of this letter, and I'm inviting you to address me on that now.
Chairperson, maybe we're speaking past each other at this point. He was asked, from my understanding, to utilize the indictment that was there, that was referenced by my learned friend, and to deal with it. And his answer to that is that I cannot deal with this indictment because I'm not a legal person. So that's why I said maybe we're speaking past each other at this point in time, because I was addressing the fact you cannot give a person an indictment and say, use your indictment now and answer the questions.
I will seek clarity from Ms. Sillo unless I misunderstood, and if I did, I will withdraw everything that I have said.
I misunderstood what she said. I will also withdraw and then deal with it.
All right, okay.
I understood
yeah.
it, but I will
let me say this. Yes, I understood Ms. Sillo's reference to the indictment. But I understood Ms. Sillo to get to the indictment springing from the contents of this letter. So what Ms. Sillo appeared to me to be saying was, let's engage you, Mr. Matlala, on this letter. But because you are talking fair trial rights or whatever else, now let's look at the indictment and see how it becomes relevant to the contents of this document. So now when you make your submissions about the fair trial rights, I say fine, well and good, but make those submissions in relation to this letter. Please correct me. I will immediately withdraw Ms. Sillo.
There is nothing to correct, Chair, because that is exactly what I said.
Thank
in
you.
fact, the reference to the charge sheet was in a bid to assist so
Yes.
that we do not unduly stray and be confronted with these responses.
Then I will also withdraw the submissions I made right now. Maybe I can, in fact, this particular question to the letter, and what my learned friend has tried to indicate to my client about the use of this letter. Maybe if I can get a very short few minutes, I can try and explain to him some of the issues that was raised by my learned friend as to why she says she can ask him about it at this point. And I think I can cut through unnecessary objections at this stage. If that is the only...
Four o'clock is not that far away from now. Let's just continue, see how things go, Ms. Van, rather than take it.
As I said, because I thought we could cut through this, because I understand where she comes from, and I think it's a simple explanation to the client might curtail her reasoning why she can and why she argues that it is already out in the public, and I can explain to him as to...
Let's just see how things go. Let's just see how things go. 4 o'clock, we'll adjourn, and you'll have the time to do whatever you want with your client. Let's continue,
Thank you, Chair. And I think just for the record, we shouldn't conflate the issue that Mr. Matlala had, which was flighting the document, which is distinct and separate from any objection he would have with dealing with the document. Those are two separate issues. So, for purposes of, I guess, progress, I will not flight the document, but I want to ask questions about the document. And then we will take it from there, and Mr. Matlala will assert whatever right he believes he has in response to a question as I pose it. Mr. Matlala, we were at page 830 of file 11, and that is the letter written by Medicare 24 addressed to Lieutenant General Dr. M.I. Fani, Divisional Commissioner Supply Chain, SAPS. It runs until page 834. You confirm that? You confirm that's the document we are looking at?
Yes, I confirm.
Yeah. Now,
Mr. Lo, because you're not flighting
830.
Yeah, no, I am at the page. Maybe because you're not flighting it, you should say who it comes from. You said Medicare, the writer.
Indeed. Take. To do things properly, it's a letter from Mr. Van Wyk, Chief Executive Officer, Medicare 24 Tshwane District, Pty Limited. It is addressed to Lieutenant General Dr. M.I. Fani, Divisional Commissioner, Supply Chain Management, South African Police Services. And it is signed by Mr. Van Wyk at page 834. You confirm that's what you have at your page 830?
Yes, I confirm.
You took issue with flighting this particular document, and for the moment, I don't want us to detain ourselves with that debate. I did make the point that the actual document has been dealt with by Brigadier Majeng. So to the extent that whether or not it's public, it is confirmed it is public because it has been dealt with publicly in this commission. It's a fact, I'm telling you. You can't dispute it. It has happened. You can only note it, accept it. Well, you note what I say to you.
I hear you.
Thank you. Now, this particular letter, it's important, particularly in relation to the rights you think you may have to assert. It has a letter of demand, non-performance on the contractual obligations, Medicare 24 Tshwane District, Pty Limited, Health Risk Management Contract, then it provides a contract number as we know it, the SAPS Medicare 24 contract. Okay? You confirm that. This is what this letter speaks to. It states at first paragraph that Medicare 24 Tshwane District has been appointed a health risk manager from the 18th of June 2024 under that specific contract and would like the opportunity to respond to the letter signed 4 February 2025 and only received on Monday the 10th of February 2025. It says at 10:37. You see that? Yes, so I'm suggesting to you that that first paragraph tells us already what this letter is dealing with. It is a response to a letter received from SAPS. You accept?
I do.
Say that again?
Yes, I accept.
Oh, thanks. And it then proceeds to deal, as I understand it, with SAPS's expressed view to terminate the Medicare contract for non-performance. That's all this letter deals with. Is that your recollection of the letter as well?
Of course.
Okay. So then, it cannot be that its contents in any manner jeopardize any trial you are facing because it was a response to a threat for termination of a contract. That's all it is. Do you accept?
Not on the basis of criminality,
Indeed.
but on the basis of alleged non-performance.
Indeed, I confirm, Chair. Do you understand, Mr. Matlala?
Can you please explain that to me once?
Okay. When I put up this letter, you raised the fact that you are currently on trial regarding this contract.
Yes.
And you and I had an engagement about you must wait for the question to come because you can only assert your right in response to a question a specific question posed.
Of course,
so
yes.
You cannot refuse to answer every question that relates to that contract, as a blanket proposition. And accepting that, I say this particular document we are looking at came about after SAPS, seemingly on the 4th of February, threatened to terminate the Medicare SAPS contract for reason of non-performance by Medicare. That's all it concerns, nothing more.
Okay.
Now, I'm saying, because of the nature of its contents and what is being discussed here, that can have no bearing on, as the chair says, the criminality or otherwise that is being debated in the criminal case that you are currently first accused in. Will you accept that? Because this is dealing with a contract that SAPS at the time considered to be live when it issued the threat to cancel. These are all only contractual issues.
I don't know that, Advocate Silo.
What don't you know, sir?
You know, you're asking me if I know that it won't infringe my fair trial rights.
No. That's my conclusion. I say it only deals with possible termination of a contract. That's all it deals with. And from that, I conclude it cannot infringe your fair trial rights. And if you hold a contrary view, then I invite you to explain to the commissioners how the issue of termination of a contract could potentially infringe your fair trial rights.
Again, I'm repeating myself. Termination not for the alleged criminality in which you are now facing charges, not at that stage, but termination for failure to comply with your contractual obligations. There is termination for non-performance of your obligations under the contract. Do you get that? And then Mr. Van Wyck's lengthy letter is engaging with that. And unless you explain, none of that has anything to do with criminality. Do you understand that?
I hear you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair. So, we know now from your chats that you shared this letter with Mr. Mutsumi on the 21st of February 2025. If you go to page 64 of the chats.
Yes, it's fine. Yeah, I know I shared it with him.
Your voice dropped for a bit there. Please repeat it. File, what did we say that? File 1, where we have the chats, page 64.
Page 64, yes, yes, it's fine.
Okay, so I say we see from page 64 that you shared with Mr. Mutsumi the response by Mr. Van Wyck on behalf of Medicare 24 Tswane to SAPS. You shared that with him.
Yes.
So he became aware that as of the 21st of February 2025, that contract was under threat of termination for non-performance.
Yes.
And what was the purpose of sharing it with him, if I may ask?
I think it's the reason why I needed more money.
Say that again, please.
The reason why I needed more money to fund the contract.
That you needed more money?
Yes.
Okay, so was this in a bid to support your requirement for 20 million?
Yes.
And if you could have regard to page 830, that letter, 830 of file 1.1. Yes.
Mr. Lord, should we close the indictment file?
Oh, yes, to close it, it was just to bring to Mr. Matlala's attention that the charge sheets that we had requested are now available where we have obtained them ourselves in the file. So each time he seeks to invoke one or other of his rights, we will have to do so with reference to the charge sheet and to see the crimes for which he is currently indicted for.
But Chair, sorry, Advocate Silo, I see you also have that letter from Mr. Mutsumi.
Sorry, sir, please say that again.
I'm saying I was just going through this. I just saw now that you also have that letter from Mr. Mutsumi that you were asking about.
Want to make viral Fruit Love Island videos with AI? Watch this.
Can't believe my eyes.
Tap on Fruit Love Island. Upload a photo.
At which page is it and in which file, Mr. Matlala? Just look at the spine of the file.
I'll show you just now.
Thank you.
Perhaps to assist you, I think you have regards to the document at page 843. Same file, an extra SM10, what you have in mind.
Yes.
Just look at the amount in that acknowledgement of debt, and you'll see it's not about the 5 million.
Oh, no, it's something different.
There are too many of them, huh?
So that one, Mr. Matlala, goes with 839. It is part of what was going to be the loan agreement for 20 million.
Oh, no, it's my mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay. And your voice changed when you told me about that acknowledgement of debt. You know, there was a sternness to the voice, like. No, but I accept your error. It's okay. So then, staying with this, we were dealing with SM4, which is your letter of response to persuade SAPS not to terminate the contract. If we go further, then we have a notification, it's SM7. You share a notification of payment, and that is at page 837. It's for 1 million, and that is by one of your companies. No, 837. No, Chair,
Our 8.
it is actually, yes. It doesn't tally with the. Yeah, it doesn't tally with the index. It will have to be changed. But 838, you are correct, and that is now a 1 million rand payment made to the same company of Mr. Mutsumi Bazwimi Factors for 1 million rand on the 17th of March, 2025.
Yes, I can see it.
And this is now from your other company, Luxo Africa Brand Investment. That's your company.
Yes, that's my company.
Now, on my computation, the 5 million rand loan has now been extinguished, is it?
Of course, yes.
So it was an interest-free loan.
No, it was not an interest-free loan.
What was the interest on that loan?
I think it was. Then I need to check the terms because it is on the acknowledgement of debt, if I'm not wrong.
Please say that again. I think I missed something. You say you need to check the terms?
Check the terms of payment from the acknowledgement of debt.
Yes.
Yes. That's
And
right.
that will tell you what the loan was,
yes.
the interest rate was.
Yes.
And now we are in March 2025, and we have settled at least the principal amount of 5 million.
Yes.
So you did pay the interest on that 5 million.
I got arrested.
So you're still owing interest on?
Interest, yes.
That would be interest accumulated from the day the loan was extended and until the loan was extinguished.
Yes, yes.
And I nearly asked you whether you have an idea of what that interest may potentially be, but because you said you deal with in many millions, you might not remember.
No advocacy law, I'm not.
Okay.
Don't put it that way. I said,
Okay.
explain to Commissioner Walu that I was not putting it in that way. I just wanted to explain that it will be something if I only saw the transaction of only 2 million in my life, not to say that I'm a person with who deals with big money, please.
I'm the one who misunderstood.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but it looks like maybe I'm bragging about it or something, so it feels wrong.
No, it should. If I were you, I would brag, but don't know, that's just me, you know.
Ms. Silo, can I just ask a question?
yes,
Ms. Matlala, I thought the loan was to Medicare 24 Tswane, not to you personally.
Yes, it was to Medicare 24 Tswane, yes.
So the question is, did Medicare Tswane pay the interest portion of the loan?
Yes, it did.
It did. And I think we heard from one of the witnesses that you resigned as a director of Medicare 24 in December 2024.
Yes, that's correct.
So by this point, you were no longer a director of this company.
Yes.
Were you still a shareholder?
Yes.
Okay.
Chair looked at me at 16:01, so I'm in the commission's hands.
No. If you want to continue, you may.
I've just indicated to my learned friends, for reasons that I'm not going to deal with in public, I have obligations to deal with. If I knew it beforehand, I could have made arrangements, but I unfortunately didn't, which leaves me in a bit of a predicament.
Let's take the adjournment then and resume at 9:30 tomorrow.
9:30 tomorrow, Chair. Yes.
Chair, before we do so, I should mention and perhaps forewarn Mr. Matlala that we'll have to park this engagement and conversation with him to a later date, as tomorrow they'll be starting on a new topic.
With Ms.
With
Hassan.
OS Advocate Hassan.
That's correct, Chair.
Yes. Let's adjourn until 9:30 tomorrow then.
Share. That's what I'm saying.